Welcome back to the Spoonie and Caregiver Life podcast with me, your host, Jordan Banderas. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes of the podcast. And let's go ahead and get into today's episode, shall we? Now, this is something that I have seen with my wife, with myself, and I see with a lot of people that after we get our diagnosis, it's kind of hard to transition from what we think is our healthy self into a spoonie. Now, it is hard, literally, to transition from that to a spoonie. Now, one thing that I saw with my wife in this situation, she went from being literally Wonder Woman. She was doing pretty much everything on her own. She's very independent, or she was at least. She was very independent, where she will work like 18 hours a day. She will still take care of the house because I was at work, and she will clean the house. Like literally, she will do anything. I didn't have to do pretty much anything. And then the diagnosis came, where obviously she had her mental breakdown. She had to be hospitalized. She has all these diagnoses, and she didn't know what to do because it got to the point where she needed my help to even brush her hair, to put on her clothes. So that was very difficult in that transition in that transition for her, because she was never used to that. She had never needed that kind of help. And I see that a lot of people are going through something similar, where you don't know what to do. You might get depressed because you can't run the marathon every day. You can't literally be the Flash or be Wonder Woman or be Superman every day. Like, you have to now take breaks. That's very hard when all your life you've been able to do all these things. You've been able to run your 10 miles every day, and now you can only run like not even quarter of a mile. That's gonna hit you hard. And that's the worst part about transitioning into a spoonie, because it will affect you psychologically. It will affect you psychologically in such a way that the depression is gonna hit hard. And that's exactly what happened to my wife. When all of this happened, when she went from Wonder Woman to regular Katie, her depression hit her hard. She was so depressed that, and I have talked about this, that she was suicidal. So it's gonna be hard. This is the worst. If you're going through something like this right now, this is going to be probably the worst period of your life, or you might feel like it. In my situation, I saw it as the worst period of my wife's life, because it was hard to see her going from being able to do everything to requiring me to help her. Because for one, I had never helped her. Like, she always said that she never needed help. So she was very independent. I didn't have to do anything. She will do everything. And even if I asked her for if she needed help, she will say no. So I was so used to that. But now I help her, and obviously, according to her, I do a good job. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying. So this is going to be hard. I know that it was hard for my wife. It was extremely hard. It was hard for her friends, because now she couldn't go out. It was hard for her family, because she couldn't take care of everything for them. Like, this is the point where you're gonna have to understand that you're gonna have to literally open a new chapter in your life. In this situation, you're gonna have to rediscover your new self, the spoonie you. You are a spoonie now. And it's okay to say it. Don't feel ashamed. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not your fault that you got sick. Now, what you have to do in the situation, it's like I told my wife, we have to take control of the situation. Like, yes, you're sick. Yes, you have all these illnesses. You can't run your 10 miles per day. You can't um, clean the whole house by on your own. You can't do everything on your own. Now you have me. If you have somebody that supports you and helps you, you have to let them know, like, I'm going to need your help. That's part of the transitioning. When my wife got sick, she literally said this to me. She's all like, I'm gonna need your help a lot. And what I said to her is like, don't worry, I'm here for you, because obviously I love my wife and I'm gonna take care of her no matter what. So if you're going through something like this, remember this. It's going to be hard because, well, the way that I see it with my wife, she thought that it will go away, and this has been like 4 years by now. It's almost gonna be 4 years that we have gone through this. So that's why I know what it's like to transition into a spoonie. And believe me, it wasn't hard. It wasn't easy for her. Like I said, like, she was depressed. She had all these issues. But one of the things that we need to understand as spoonies or caregivers as well is that once we get the diagnosis, that doesn't mean that it's the end of our book. It just means, in my opinion, it just means that this is the beginning of a new chapter. You're going to have to literally rediscover yourself, your new self, the spoonie you. And when we do that, pretty much what's going to happen is that you can see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. The reason why I say this, and I like to put it that way, the way that I just mentioned, is because when my wife, and this just happened recently, like, it didn't happen like right away, this just happened recently. When my wife finally accepted the illness, when she finally said, like, you know what, I'm a spoonie and I need help and I need to take care of myself, I saw the change. She's been getting a little better. It's not happening as fast as she will want it to be, but at least it's happening. It could be like 1% per day, you know? I heard this the other day that says, like, if you work on yourself to get 1% better every day, at the end of the year, after 365 days, you get 365% better. So that's what I see with my wife. Like, she has good days, she has bad days. Obviously, you're gonna have the same thing, but if you start working on yourself, if you understand what's going on, then what's gonna happen is that you're gonna probably start looking at the solution. That's what I see with my wife. Once she decided to, or once she started to say, like, I'm a spoonie, I have all these illnesses, these are my illnesses, then she's actually taking care of herself better. She's doing what she's supposed to, because now she knows that she's sick. Maybe before she didn't really accepted it, which is pretty much part of the transition into a spoonie. You have to accept it. You have to say that, you have to understand that you're a spoonie now. And as a spoonie, you have to take care of yourself. Now, once you accept this, and like I said, this is what I see with my wife. Once you accept this, you're gonna be able to move forward. You're not gonna, you're the way that I see it with my wife again. She is not stuck in the past anymore. She's not. She used to say this. She used to be like, I miss my old self. What I was able to do when I was able to do all these things, and I was able to work and I was able to do this. But now she doesn't say it, and because she doesn't say it, she's not literally holding herself down or holding herself back. So I will recommend to do the same thing, because I see that it's working for my wife, so it might work for you. So that's pretty much what she has done, so she can get better. And like I said, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's never gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take time. Obviously, you need to take you need to talk to whoever's helping you, your caregiver, your doctors, and everything, so they understand where you are. Because another thing, once my wife started like saying like, yeah, I am sick, she started like telling the doctors, now you're going to help me, or if you're not going to help me, I'm going to find somebody else. That's the best part about it. That's one of the things that I like about that, because now she's taking control of her medications, of her treatments and everything. And if she doesn't like something, or if she feels like something is not working for her, she actually says something to the doctor. She doesn't stay quiet, which is important, because obviously if you stay quiet, the doctor doesn't know what's going on, and they're just gonna do whatever they think it's gonna be good for you. So that's one of the things that you have to that we have to understand in this situation, that there's gonna be a transitional period from your healthy self, or what you thought it was your healthy self, to a spoonie. It's almost like grief. There's gonna be different stages. For you it might be different. For me it was different. For my wife was different. So take your time. Don't rush it, because if you rush it, it can cause more problems, like more depression and things like that, because you might feel like in shock of everything that happened. Like you were like running your 10 miles per day, and all of a sudden you can barely run a quarter of a mile. So take your time, don't rush it. And once you determine, or once you decide to transition to say like, I'm a spoonie and I'm sick and I need help, hopefully that will help you get better, because at that point pretty much you're taking charge. You're saying like, this is my life, and then what should come next, which obviously is it can take time as well, is for you to say, or for us to say, what do I need to do to get better? And pretty much that's what I wanted to talk about today. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your feedback. I've been receiving a lot of feedback. Thank you for that. Thank you for the new followers, the new subscribers, the new listeners. And don't forget to share, like, subscribe, so we can make the community grow. And also don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you want to share your story, don't forget to send it to me at the Spoonie and Caregiver Live at gmail.com, where you can do it anonymously, or also you can post it on the Facebook community. And I'll leave you like always. Always take care of yourself, and have a great day.